place.
You're doing great.
Doing great.
Did we get any of the double vaccines?
The double?
The flu and
No.
They said they put out a bunch
Hey
of
John, why don't
They
you
had
let us know
double
what you're
doses.
doing?
What was that?
Let the community know what you're doing right now.
So we are administering the first COVID-19 vaccines here at Cody Regional Health. Dr. Lowe here is about to experience the first one. Second one.
You were just the test dose.
That's right.
Okay.
I got placebo.
You got the chip.
You got the signal.
And this is her card.
All right.
I know.
Break a needle.
You could do figure eight.
Nice technique with the counting there.
You like that?
1, 2.
It's not even got a third.
Good.
Yeah, you got little spots.
Appreciate it, John.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dr. Lowe,
Hey,
you
don't forget
want to
your
say
card.
anything?
Dr. Lowe.
Got my cards ready to go. I'm excited.
All right.
Yes.
Start. No, we're gonna do a group now. Everybody in the group. All right, guys, everybody else, let's go ahead. Dr. Lowe, you wait, and Dr. Hunter, wait for 15. You guys time yourself. Everybody else, come around the table. We're gonna do a group.
Around this table?
Yep. Around this table.
You got the for our assignment?
Phil, hold on to your paper.
Phil, you're gonna have a
Where's your paperwork?
Right here.
Hi, welcome.
There you go.
Dr. Ballinger.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Wendy, go ahead and take a spot at the table.
Doug, we can send you a Q&A as well.
Ah.
See if you can get them in. And then there's a box for you to mark it out there.
You know, I couldn't even tell who you were with it. I was like, who's this? Right.
We're waiting for Doug Wenke and then we'll get started.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Now I'm scared. You're actually going to do like
That's the group thing, so we do one
That makes
speech,
sense now.
once an hour. Yeah, and then we have something else to entertain. So, are you guys signed up? Come on in. No? Oh, waiting for Keith.
I have a conference call. I just need to tell me, can I do it on 10 after the shot or something?
Can you stay in here?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you need to, you can use my office.
Yeah. Sorry.
And I'm gonna ask if I can move to the head alongside the labor patient.
You can go first.
I'll go after you, that's fine, you can go ahead and just.
1, 2, okay.
Just in case.
May the best person win. Mr. Smith, will you remind us that he needs to be here?
So we can't do the one.
Maybe remember what Doug Come on in. Have a seat at the table except for Doug.
Man of the hour.
Yeah, but like when we've been putting in the flu vaccine, that has come to that like some orders, some typos.
This one you cancel.
Yeah. Would you like to do it in here or?
Whatever you want to do.
It's going to be for about 5 minutes. Just we'll see if we get any questions in, and I'm panning it over to you.
What do you want me to do?
Well, you stand right there, and anybody who has questions about the vaccine, we have our director of pharmacy here, Doug Wenke, And so if you have any questions, go ahead and writing them in here, and we'll do our best to answer them as we can.
You guys, let's go ahead and get started. What we're gonna do is, I want you to review the paperwork that's in front of you. The first one is an information sheet, is a fact sheet put out by Pfizer and FDA. Has basic information about the vaccination that you're about to receive. It's not an approved, it's an emergency use authorization vaccine. So just so that you know that. The second section of the form is in case you have allergic reaction. We have to hand out information on that in case you develop any problems. The last page of your folder has a QR code that you can put onto your phone. They are monitoring for, this is voluntarily. You can report symptoms, any ill effects, and it also will remind you to be back in 21 days. But we will remind you via email that you're due back in 21 days, okay? And you'll come back to this room to get your vaccination. So what we'll do is we'll read through the consent form. If you have any questions on the consent form, we'd be glad to answer any of those questions. Once you receive your vaccination, you need to stay in the room for 15 minutes, and we have some entertainment and things for you to do for 15 minutes. And then once your 15 minutes is up, you can leave. If you have any allergies to anything, any drugs or foods or anything like that, we need you to stay for a half hour, just so we can watch you. And we do have emergency meds on hand if anything happens, just in case. Hi, Lynette. Go ahead and have a seat at the table.
Oh, okay.
So, any questions on the consent forms or anything? All right, Tom, and then Dr. Chisholm, if you guys want to go ahead and hang on down.
Okay.
This is pretty exciting, you guys getting everything done. You are the first girl.
Okay, we have a question here. Do you know if there are any certain food allergies that are worrisome for causing an allergic reaction?
Not that we know of. So this vaccine is not made from any oils that would be contained in food, or like egg products, like the flu vaccines are.
Okay. So thank you, Jessica, for asking your question. We're going to be on here for a little bit. Thank you, Sarah. We appreciate your nice comment. Everyone's saying good job. So maybe tell us a little bit while people are still coming on. We've got about 30 people watching right now. So say I get the vaccine today, Doug. What's my next step if I get the Pfizer vaccine today?
Well, so next step is wait for 21 days. May have a little bit of site specific reactions, so like where you get your shot, possibly some itchiness, redness, things like that, like any standard shot. There's not a whole lot to expect after that.
Okay. So what's the difference between this vaccine compared to a flu vaccine?
So this vaccine is not made from any virus. So your typical flu vaccine would be busted up pieces of flu virus that were cultured usually in eggs. This is purely synthetic, so really, really simple. Just instructions are in this vaccine that the vaccine gives to your body to make that antigen or that mugshot of the virus that your body needs to recognize.
And what is Cody Regional Health's role in administering the vaccine for our people, and how are we helping the community? If people have questions about when they can get it.
Our initial role is to get our frontline critical staff, the folks that are taking care of patients face to face, vaccinated, to make sure that they can continue to do that. So it's more of just putting those people that are on the front lines, highest at risk, first in line, so that we can continue to take care of everybody in the community.
Great. So if someone has questions about the vaccine, when they can get it, where they're going to get it from, who do they need to contact?
So initially, public health will help fulfill that role. We, of course, can answer questions as they crop up out in the community, things like that. This is going to be done in phases, rolled out, so initial to those high-risk populations, frontline healthcare workers, elderly people that are like in nursing homes, and what else? What am I thinking of? Congregate populations, so assisted living populations too. And then it will roll out to those members of the community that are at higher risk of having severe COVID disease, people that have diabetes, people that are immunocompromised, things like that. And then hopefully by maybe mid-spring, general public should be able to go to like a pharmacy or their provider and receive that.
Okay. All right. If anyone has any questions, now is your time to type those in. We'll stay on for a couple more minutes while we have Doug at our disposal here. So Summer, Sherry, John, anybody, if you have any questions, please write them in and we will do our best to answer them right now. Will teachers be next after healthcare workers?
So teachers, I think, fall in that phase 2 part, and that's really a public health question. Good question, though. So we'll know more as the state continues to push vaccines out, and that's a good question to either ask like your school nurse, because I think that they are on the top of the list. They're in the phase 1A group. And then hopefully we'll have some clarity on that in the future, but yes.
How many vaccines did we receive in this initial delivery?
So we received a total of 975 doses, but that is split between us, Powell, Public Health. So we're really trying to get those folks on the top of that list, those primary frontline healthcare workers first within the county.
And Public Health just responded and said, yes, teachers are in phase 2. Good questions. Anything else, you guys? Is there anything else, Doug, that you want people to know about regarding the vaccine?
Well, we hope, and it looks like even Dr. Fauci got on the other night and said this, that everybody that wants to be vaccinated should have an opportunity by like late March, hopefully early May. So it's happening really fast. You know, historically these things take years, but this has all happened within the spans of less than a year. So.
All right, I'm not seeing any other questions come in, so I'll give it just a few more seconds here. If you have any questions for Doug, he is our director of pharmacy here, very knowledgeable on the vaccine from Pfizer that we just received. And feel free to punch those in now. Otherwise, we're going to let Doug get back to work. So we'll just give it a couple more seconds here, Doug.
Did anybody put wild child in there? No. You did? Okay, so it's taking your name. There we go.
Okay, well, we are not seeing any more. Oh, here we go. Sarah says, who thought we'd live in a day where we're cheering on a vaccine?
It is exciting.
It's a great day, light at the end of the tunnel. Yep. That may be a good question is, you know, once you receive the vaccine, do you have to wear a mask anymore?
Most likely, yes. The reason why is we're still undergoing phase 3 clinical trials. You want to point out that this is not an FDA-approved product. It's authorized under special circumstances, that public health emergency. So we're still in data collection and gathering phases. My guess is, as far as the masks are concerned, that as enough people get vaccinated and we start to see those numbers go down in the community, those positive numbers go down, and public health officials like the CDC will start to change those recommendations on masking. Good question.
Okay. How long is the vaccine effective?
Hopefully at least 6 months. At least 6 months is what they're based on the rate of mutation that we've seen in the past year, they're really hopeful that at least 6 months, if not more. So again, we'll have to, we're still in data collection phase. You know, as far as the full FDA approval of this product, it'll probably be about 3 years. So this is really fast. It's hard to say from a real solid standpoint, but theoretically it should be 6 months plus.
Okay, thank you. And Samantha had a question. What is the 21-day wait for? Why do you have to wait 21 days in between the vaccine?
So most vaccines that need a booster, that 21-day mark seems to be like the perfect timing in our bodies where we get the most bang for our buck as far as antibodies are concerned. So we get our first one, the body takes a while to recognize it, and then when we get that second one at that magical 21, 28-day mark, the body has got a better sort of mugshot that it's building of that vaccine, or of that, that virus that the vaccine is targeting. So not to get too complicated, it happens to do with just how long it takes for our bodies to build a good immune response, and that 21-day mark is a good time to provide a reminder to our immune system of what this looks like.
Okay. All right. Are children able to get the vaccine?
So currently this product is only authorized for kids 16 and older. Kids are not, under that age, are not eligible to receive it yet. So they want some more studies with that before they modify that authorization.
Does anyone else have any more questions for Doug? I think this has been very helpful. Okay. Are you receiving any other questions from staff, from the community you want to address?
Not really. We've touched on pretty much the big ones. A lot of new stuff. A lot of data to collect still. Hopefully this is light at the end of the tunnel, so we're going to have to power through it and see how it turns out. I'm confident that we've kind of hit the peak of this and that it's downhill as far as dealing with this now.
Great. Are we mandating this vaccine?
No, we're not. Our organization is not requiring this at this point in time. It doesn't mean as time moves on that we change some things like we have with the flu shot, where we either do require that or we do require employees to wear masks during the flu season, but at this point in time, it is not mandated.
Alrighty. Okay, everyone, we're going to sign off and let Doug get back to work. But thank you, everyone, for your questions, and hopefully this was a help.